Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tea with the Druid. Right now, we have an overlay on the video, and so I'm trying to remove that. This is Matt Baker, and I'm talking with someone who's helping me do that. Hmm. Hey, there we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Welcome to Tea with the Druid. I had to remove the image, which I had never done before. So we have people coming in from all over the place. Thanks for your patience. And we've got, hi, Christopher White. Let's see who else we got here. Sorry, no sound. Still no sound. Let's see, should be sound now. Let me check. Someone tell me if you can actually hear me. Hi, Penny from Somerset. Can you hear me? All working now. I can hear you fine. Okay, great. Wonderful, everybody. It seems like we're ready to roll. We still have people kind of wandering in, which is wonderful. But we're at 8:05, so we'll just start getting going. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Matt Baker, and this is Tea with the Druid, and this is Way of the Mystic Wizard Part 2. Philip asked me to guest again in this Tea with the Druid broadcast. He is in Amsterdam, so we wish him well in the teachings that he's doing. So you don't have to have watched Mystic Wizard Part 1 to take part in tonight. You certainly can go back if you want to be a part of that. We will go back into our inner world. Basically, the work that we're doing tonight comes from the book that came out, The Way of the Mystic Wizard, by me. And there's a whole bunch of information about this path in there. And last time, 3 weeks ago, when I broadcast the first part of this, I was actually in Arizona. And now, I think I told you guys I was moving to London, and here I am. And one of my 30-year dreams was to go to the summer event in Glastonbury with Obod, the Order of Bards, Ovies, and Druids, of course. And I had the opportunity to do that and teach there and meet just wonderful people. It's an incredible sense of community and caring and responsiveness. So particularly coming up at the end of the pandemic is really great to be able to see people. And there's nothing like waiting 30 years to be able to do something, right? It really is precious. So thank you to all the people who were in my classes there and the great people that I met. So since 3 weeks ago, I've also had some requests for a little bit more information about the work in the future that is available. In July, I will come out with some Zoom workshops. And so if you are interested in continuing on this work, you really feel called to it, then go ahead and go to my website. It's matthewthomasbaker.com, and just put yourself on the list. I'll sign up for the email list and you'll get information on that. So with the regular work I do is we take people on a quest for the 5 Hallows throughout the year. Typically I draw a card, and from this wonderful deck of cards I like called the Journey deck. I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah, Sacred Traveler. I like the image there too. And today, appropriately, is this. I love this image of the bridge, first of all, this crossing over. And we're at this kind of really powerful moment during the year, of course. We are at the summer solstice. And this crossing bridges card talks a lot about it's time for healing, connecting, releasing, letting things go. One of the powerful things we can do in this particular path as we go into the inner world and work with some of the figures and beings in this inner world is have them help us let things go. And the solstice, is related obviously to the highest point of the sun, strength of the sun. The sun symbolically represents the power of the soul, both for us mortals and also the divine. So, so it can help us to burn stuff up, to let things go, and to step through gateways to traverse to the next stage of our lives. So we'll see exactly where they take us. I have a pretty good idea where we're going to go in the inner world. So without further ado, why don't we start getting prepared to go into the inner world? And so obviously if you're using heavy equipment or driving, don't do this. You can always listen to it later, right? And you don't want to be interrupted by cat, children, loud noises, any of those things, because we're going to be changing our consciousness a little bit. Okay, so let's begin. Go ahead and close your eyes and just relax and take a breath. And here we go. So you find yourself floating down through the mist. And we're just going to go deeper into that mist. 5, 4, deeper. 3, deeper. 2, deeper still. Till finally, 1, you find yourself emerging out of the mist in front of a beautiful doorway into essentially a medieval castle wall. And on the center of the doorway, an image, a symbol, your symbol. Go ahead and place your hand on it. And you hear the door click, and it opens. And step through the door and walk into the corridor. And there's a little bit of mist in the corridor as well, but at the far, far end, you can see some light. And start walking forward and reach out with your right hand. Trace your fingers along the stones and see the light that comes out behind your fingers. And then you come to a junction, and on the right, there's a spiral staircase that goes down. Go around, down the spiral staircase. That's it. Until you come into what we'll call the common room. And there, in that room, is a fireplace and high windows, light is streaming in. It's a very comfortable space. There's a couch, there's a chair, a dog in front of the fire sleeps. Behind the couch, a table with a map spread out, and a cat that also sleeps, although notices you as you walk across the room. So go across the room, and then on the other side, there is another archway with a spiral staircase. Stone goes up, and go up that staircase, and go around once, until you come to a platform and an archway, and go through it and turn to the right, and there at the end of this room, you see a shimmering portal. This is the portal to the inner world, the land of the ancient ones. On the left of the portal, a wardrobe. So walk up to the wardrobe and open it up, and there, your traveling robes, perfectly designed for you, ready to go. And something else, there's a bag. So go ahead and pick up that bag and sling it over your shoulder. At first, it seems like it might be empty, but then you sense there are some things in it, and you don't quite know what they are. So go ahead and stand in front of the shimmering portal. Place your hands in the portal, feel the energy of the portal, moving through your body, attuning you to this inner world. And then step through the portal, and you find yourself on the side of a hill looking out over a beautiful forest. Before the forest, a field full of flowers. Get your bearings. Far to the right in the north, the snow-capped mountains. And now a trail. You see it going down the hillside. So go ahead and walk down the hillside, down the trail, till you come to the field. And you can reach out a hand and actually reach the grasses that are getting taller, flowers that are getting taller, and move across the field. So you come closer to the edge of the forest, and there you see a standing stone and a path that enters through 2 birch trees. And go up to the standing stone, and there, on it, the same symbol that was on your door. Place your hand on it, connect the two. And then out of the forest to the left steps your animal guide for today. Go ahead and connect with that animal. Take a moment. And then gently set the intention that you're going to go into the forest today, carrying the bag of the things you are ready to let go of as you pass through the gate of the solstice into a new life that's waiting for you. So ready yourself, and then step through the birch gate and into the path. And here we go, the animal leading the way. And up in the trees following you, a couple ravens who live in this area of the forest are keeping an eye out for you. Keep walking deeper into the forest with your animal guide. Until in the distance you hear the sound of a stream. And you're getting closer to that stream. And you come around a bend, and there you see the stream, and on the other side is a very old woman sitting in meditation. Apparently, she seems to be waiting for you. And beside her, she has what looks like a pile of clothing she's been washing. Some are dry, some are wet. She opens her eyes and beckons you. This is the washer at the ford. Here is the place she will help you let go of what needs to be let go of so you can step through the gate of the solstice. So take off your bag, kneel down by the stream, and reach in and gently pull out the first symbolic item that represents what you're truly ready to let go of. A layer of grief, a wound, a false dream, anything you're truly ready to let go of. See the symbol that represents it, and then gently into the water it goes. And she witnesses. Take a moment now. Feel it being washed away. And if you really, really are ready to let go of a lot, you can get in the stream and just have the stream wash through you, and everything and anything that you want to really let go of, that's time for you to let go of, will be washed away. And now the washer at the ford tells you it's time to return. Go back to the outer world. And know that this work will continue to work on you between now and the solstice, and that you can return here at any time when you're ready to let go of the next thing, whatever it is. You sense from her a kind of extraordinarily fierce kindness, strength, as if she's seen all of life washed away. Now it's time to return. Leave behind the stream, walking back through the forest, and you can hear the ravens talking. Your animal is guiding you. Even the mist seems awake, floating through the woods, the darkest parts of the woods. So finally you come to the light at the edge of the forest, step through the birch gates, by the stone. Into the light you step, of the field, refreshed, awaiting the new life beyond the gate of the solstice. And now, start walking across with your animal, the field, then to the hill and up the hill. Standing on the hill, look out over this forest. Somewhere deep inside, you get a sense of a presence that watches, holds the space of this entire place, of all form itself, a formless, beautiful, supporting presence. And it's always been with you. And then it is in love with its own forms. And now it's time to return. Turn from the forest, step through the shimmering portal, and you're back in the portal room. Go ahead and place the bag, now empty, and then your traveling robes, and move out of the portal room, down the spiral staircase, and into the common room. And there, sitting on the chair, is the weaver. And she's weaving the story of your life, and you look at what she's weaving. There you see the image of the sun, and you, the mystery of the relationship between the soul and the self. And now it's time to return to the outer world. But before you do, go over to the table and see there the map and look down at it. And there you see the vast forest and the castle you stand in. And the edge of the forest with the trail is now marked. And there the stream, and a small image that marks where the washer at the ford lives and waits. You get a deep sense that this is your world as well. Many have come before and traveled it, but it belongs to us all. And now it's time to leave. So leave the common room and go up the staircase to the corridor, turn left, and you come to the back of the door, and it opens. Step through. It shuts. Turn around and place your hand on your symbol and say in your own mind, "It is done." And now you're floating up through the mist. 1, 2, 3, returning to this world, the outer world, remembering all that you need to bring back. 4, wiggle your toes and your fingers, merging and coming back fully into your body, fully in to your outer world awareness and consciousness. And 5, you open your eyes and you're here, returned. Welcome back, everybody. So take a moment, and we are at 8:23. We have a few minutes left here. So typically what we would do is, when in a small group, we would have more time, obviously, for you to write in your journal a little bit and to reflect on symbolically what stood out. So you can do that, and you can put it in the chat and just sort of say, hey, this is what stood out to me, and go from there. And I think that maybe one of the things I was listening to yesterday, a couple people have had questions about, like, why is this powerful? Why sometimes does it seem? And it's like, well, when thousands of people have followed the same trails, it's kind of like trails in the outer world. The paths are there. The paths are marked. The world has a sense of completeness because other people have been through it. So that's the first thing. And the second thing, why sometimes, what do we do with the symbolic? We've all grown up in our sort of world in such a way that we're trained to really intellectualize things, and we don't really have a class on how to think symbolically. In many ways, our classes in school are like, stop thinking symbolically, you know, metaphorically. I mean, unless you take a poetry class, and the kind of class that I taught for years. So one of the questions that came up after the last time I did this with this group was, what does this mean, this symbol and everything? And remember that symbols are the way in which the inner world speaks to us. And they are full of all kinds of meanings. They're like gems with lots of facets. And so, as Jung said, it's kind of like, hold the symbol gently, like you would a small creature. And your first thing that you learn about it might actually give you some insight, and then it might go deeper. And sometimes it's really good to work with someone else, because it can be hard to see and understand what a symbol that's given to you means in your own life. So sometimes it's good to have someone reflect with, if they've got some symbolic mind. So the goal here is to develop the symbolic mind through the creative arts, through the way in which you journal or draw or paint or whatever it is you do. And that's a big part of what Druidry is about, is developing the symbolic mind so that the inner world and your own soul can really speak to you. So that kind of gives you a sense of what you can do with that, working on developing your symbolic mind. So let's take a little look here. Crispy, that was a really powerful and peaceful experiment. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And my symbol was a bardic symbol. Amazing journey. Hello from Holland. It is evening here. Yes, it is evening in London too. So if you liked this, and you want to work in this world, then go ahead and you can go back and watch the previous one if you didn't watch it before. And then in July, my web designer is putting up all the journeys that are in my book. So in here are like 12 journeys that are written. So that allows you to kind of read them and get comfortable. You could record them yourself, and then actually I'll have them available on the website for you to work with. And then from there, then there can be like workshops and stuff, and ways of which of going on this larger quest. So this is a great one. Where'd it go? The dragon came to me, his front claws clogged with sludge. I cleaned them, pouring. Oh, where did you go? Pouring fresh water again, wiping with my. Yeah, nice. See, there you go. Like, so symbolic, right? Like, we're cleaning things, we're getting rid of things, we're letting go. The website is just matthewthomasbaker.com. I'm like one of those people who's never really good at like promoting myself. So like, right, like I should go open my website and then drop it in the chat, right? So let me do that real quick. Um, let's see if I can actually find my website. Hold on a second. No, I can't. See, there you go. Well, just keep looking for me, MatthewThomasBaker.com, and you'll eventually get it. I mean, you just have to type it into the URL, and it's spelled like it sounds with two T's, MatthewThomasBaker.com, all one word. Last time a rabbit, this time a hare. Great, so wonderful. Yes, for me, the journey back went too fast. Yeah, I know, because we only have like a half an hour, right? Um, So when you do this work yourself, and you go through the ones that I've recorded, they're longer. I'll be honest with you. I mean, this forest is huge, you guys, and sometimes we'll go on journeys with the non-dual shamanism journey group that I work with, and we'll be gone half an hour, and we'll go all the way to the other side of the forest where the ocean is, and we'll meet the water dragon, and that kind of stuff. So there's all kinds of places in here that we've gone. Yeah, let's see. There you go, Penny Billington, MatthewThomasBaker.com. Thank you, Penny. That was really kind of you. You guys are more technologically savvy than me, I'll tell you that. Let's see, what else? Oh, Ontario, Canada. Nice. Good to see you. Oh, there, Jill. Now you've got like the whole URL. That's wonderful. Um, so another question that someone asked me is like, where do these ancient ones, these figures, come from in the inner world? And you'll recognize a lot of them in myth and Northern European myths and British myths and Celtic myths. It's just part of our collective consciousness. And so as we over the last say 15 years began to go into this world and discover what was there, like I remember the first time the washer of the ford showed up, and I was like, oh wow, she's powerful. And it was like, and each time a new figure shows up for me, I'm discovering what they're about, with my group. And then I'm just doing what they show me, and so now I don't know how many times we've seen the washer at the ford, hundreds, right? And she's always there, and she plays a really powerful role. Yeah, okay, so Marina, the book is great because where'd you go? You can read the travel them meditation on following the guidelines. Okay, great. I'm so glad that Marina, it's great to hear that about the book, because I didn't really want to write it. It's a lot of work to write a book. And what was neat about it is that as I was working with my editor, we were trying to figure out, should we just have this, shorter book with with just all the chock full with the information, or should we put these journeys in? And she was like, no, 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 you really got to have the journeys, because it's kind of like then you can self-initiate yourself into this tradition at your own pace. And I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense, because I'm not going to be there to do that. The way of the Mystic Wizard is a lot about spiritual autonomy and a lot about working on your own. Even though there's a collective component, nobody can carry your bags for you, right? And so, so even though I come together and I'm going to offer some classes and stuff, each of us has to figure out how to move with this material in a way that's supportive to you, So, I had a night. Going by traditional tales, don't you see the Watch of the Fort as ill-omened? Well, that's a really great question. And so, when we get these stories handed down to us, Penny, it's like we're often getting just like one aspect of it, or we're getting like how it was interpreted when somebody handed it down. So it's like, well, is the washer Ford an ill omen because she's washing the blood of like, the distress of the world out of these clothes? And it's like, well, it depends. If you're a quester on the journey of transformation, she's like probably one of the most powerful figures you could work with, because she's going to help you squeeze that stuff out of you. Now, if you're someone who's like, I don't want to run into that, I don't want to deal with the stuff that's inside me, yeah, then that's tricky. There's a lot of underworld beings that play really important roles in transformation. And in shamanism in particular, there's a lot of dismemberment. There's a lot of being taken apart piece by piece. And all of that is held in the context of two important insights. One is that all of these figures are playing a role in your growth and development and your guidance. And all of them can be seen through as well, which is called trickle in Tibetan Buddhism, to see through to pure awareness, just like they can see through us. So there's some really powerful work that can be done in the inner world in various places in the castle when, like, let's say you're trying to let go of something. I'll give you a really good example. People have a really hard time with, letting go of their parents, former relationships or whatever, or people who've harmed you, the classic stuff. And it's like, and you can do all kinds of work and to try to talk your way out of it and let it go. Well, the ultimate medicine here is if you bring that person up at the inner round table, is what I call, and you pull them up in your consciousness and you're able to actually look through them and see pure awareness behind them and see that it's really been pure awareness the whole time. And then stuff begins to really let go. And Debbie, are you familiar with psychosynthesis models? Absolutely. Psychosynthesis was one of, 28 years ago, someone who was in their 70s then suggested reading the book Psychosynthesis, and I read everything about it. And I used all of that material early on as I crafted my class that I was working on, and the nature of transformation, and really have just been, if I was going to choose a psychological system, Assagioli was, contemporary with Freud and Jung, and he had this concept of the egg with the soul and the self and the shadow, and just really brilliant stuff. And so if you want to understand how all that works, I would, Psychosynthesis is great. And there's another book called What We May Be, which is a beautiful book as well. So I would say we are essentially doing magical psychosynthetic work with the help of the ancient ones in the inner world, with the help of our own soul, in the context of being aware and developing the capacity to see, sense, and ultimately embody pure awareness itself, the ultimate medicine. All right, you guys, it's 8:35. It's just been a real pleasure again to be invited to do a guest tea with the Druid. And once again, I just want to thank Philip and Stephanie for what they've built over all these years, and Ema for picking up the leadership role in Obad. She did a wonderful job at the Glastonbury event, and it's just a real pleasure of mine to be able to work with you guys and to hand some of this out so that you can take take what you want from this. And feel free to email me or sign up for the email list so that you can join up on a course. I'll probably do one in July. And just so you know what that will kind of look like, we'll be on for much longer. So it'll be more like hour and a half, we'll have a longer journey. There'll be a process that we do more in depth in the beginning, and then the deeper journey will come back, and I'll have a couple volunteers. Maybe we'll pop on. This will be on Zoom, and we'll process the symbolic part. And the people I've been working with for the last few years, they say that the symbolic interaction and conversation piece is as important as the journey. Okay, let's see, last things here. Pathworking is a great technique. Yes, you can create your own safe, sacred space. And back when you need, absolutely, that's a lot of what this is. And then, yes, you can go in and meet various beings. Anne, thank you. Thank you for coming. Lily, thank you very much. Thanks for ordering my book. I hope you like it, and it's been really wonderful to be with you guys. And thank you. It's a powerful journey. They are powerful, and I think it's because we're all traveling very ancient paths. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. And until next time, may you find your path is full of light and transformation and the journey to your own destiny and truth. Okay? All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great solstice. All right. And we will see you soon.